although he is a clinical doctor and head of the anti-aging and the, what was it, anti-aging, see, I gotta read the book, there's so much to say. Board certification for anti-aging. He's also a naturopathic doctor. He's also a research doctor, has a doctorate degree in toxicology, so he knows all about the drugs and the bad things about that. And he is a host of a radio show, Common Sense Medicine. I could go on and on with alternative medicine, but the guy has brought over 300 products to market. He knows his products, and he will stay and answer questions. So if you've got questions, write them down as he's talking so you won't forget them, because he would love to answer them for you. Also, we were supposed to have a case of these and they didn't show, so we have 10, but you can order them. He will sign them and mail them to you. For those of you who haven't purchased it, we have 10 books. I don't know what.
They're sold out already.
Oh, they're sold out? They're sold out. Sorry, you guys. So anyways, it's an amazing book, and we have it, and he'll go around. If you have purchased one, he'd be happy to come to your table and sign it for you. So Dr. Pedersen, we'd like to welcome you up to the stage, and we're handing it over to you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, and happy Mother's Day, right? Yeah, it's interesting timing there, isn't it? We're glad you're here. We're glad you're spending some time with us. I'm going to get the device here that we can change some slides, but I want you to know that the anti-aging world is real. It's not a cartoon character, and I'm not just somebody that got some specialty out of a Cracker Jack box. It is real. Anti-aging is a medical specialty. It is growing faster than any other specialty in all of medicine. The products that work, almost every one of them work because they're antioxidants. And so, if you're here looking for the fountain of youth, I don't know that I have a fountain, but I got some really great capsules that contain some very important ingredients that are documented very, very well. So with that, let me talk to you a little bit about anti-aging world that we live in now, because they say we're living longer and longer. And I looked up a bunch of quotes, and I was going to bring them, and then it dawned on me, they all said the same thing, which was, who wants to live 5 extra years if you're going to be sick? Who wants to be unhealthy and live an extra few years, even a few months? And so I went to the anti-aging convention, and they hold 3 of these a year. This is for medical doctors. You have to be a medical doctor first, and then you have to specialize for about 18 months to 2 years. And they give you a board certification in anti-aging medicine. And I was in an audience like this. And I was announcing the speakers who are coming up because I'm a chairman of that branch of medicine. One of the ladies raised her hand and says, "My husband has a question for you." And I says, "Your husband?" And she goes, "Well, my ex-husband has a question for you." And already I was kind of going, what's going on here? He says, "I have one question. I've just been diagnosed with 3 different forms of cancer, and I've been told I have less than 2 months to live. You're in anti-aging medicine. What have you got for me?" He does this in front of all these medical doctors. Is he trying to embarrass us, or is he serious? Well, the whole team of doctors that were on the stage looked at each other, and nobody wanted to answer the question. Nobody wanted to answer that question. Well, finally, the president of the association looked at me, and I looked at him, and he nodded his head like he had something to say, and this is what he said. He said, "Sir, I want you to immediately move to Arkansas. I'd like you to move as far away from any big city as you possibly can. You need to buy a trailer, get at least 10 dogs, and marry the fattest, meanest woman you can find." She did this with a straight face, by the way. And the man looked at him and said, "What's that going to do for me? Oh, it's not going to make me live longer." He says, "No, but the time you have left will seem like forever." So let's take a perspective on this anti-aging and give it its due. It is real, because today it's estimated that the anti-aging market is a $160 billion market. Well, I don't even know how to count up to a billion, let alone 160, but I do know this. It's expected to nearly double every 3 or 4 years. So what that means is, whoever isn't using anti-aging products today, in about 3 years will be, or a good portion of them will be. And I like this statement: the cumulative cellular damage that you get from free radicals determines a person's age at death. So if I was to summarize all of this important information into one sentence, it's you accumulate free radical damage, and you do it every day, and every day it kills 1 more cell or 1 million more cells. And over time, you accumulate this cellular damage. That's what determines when your body finally stops working and you die. And you've seen it in people. Well, we want you to take a look at yourselves. How can we do that? We've given you all a little handout here. Did anybody do the anti-aging questionnaire? If you did, raise your hand. 3, 4 people. Maybe I'll wait till the end, so if you get to a boring part, you can look down and fill out your questionnaire. Let me suggest to you that that is a way to kind of take self-analysis. So instead of talking about it a lot right now, we'll save it to the very end, but know this. There is some real issues that may apply directly to you, and the score that you get is a score of how much free radical damage you're accumulating based on the behavior of your life. On the other hand, if you look and read between the lines, you can see some improvement that you might make. So instead of directing you to look at that and fill it out right now, I think we'll do it towards the very end. And we have some other ways to assess our true or biological age as well. Now, anti-aging consists of stopping the cellular damage with an antioxidant. See, free radicals are neutralized by antioxidants. They're opposite charges. In your body, free radicals function like rust does on a truck or a car. It just destroys one little molecule at a time until over time a whole fender is rusted out. Or in our case, a whole artery in our brain. That's a stroke. Or a heart artery that can get clogged or rusted, if you will. Well, antioxidants stop that oxidation. Stop it before it even starts, and can even reverse it. So reviving and repairing the damage 1 cell at a time with highly effective supplements is one of the greatest tools anti-aging doctors have at their disposal if the people will take them on a regular basis. And we need to eliminate the cause of this cellular damage and prevent it from returning. So, if you grew up in Newport Beach and you went to Huntington Beach or Newport Beach every day and you got all that beautiful tan and your skin got 20, 30 years older and you've got sun damage, let's stop the cause of that damage and take the antioxidants at the same time. It doesn't mean you have to stop going to the beach. Heaven forbid, we don't want to do that, but we can stop the cause of the radiation. There's many ways to do that. It may be as simple as wearing a large brimmed hat. But common sense is the number one thing I want you to recognize is the basis of anti-aging medicine. So you are made up of billions and billions of cells. When they work together and divide correctly, you're healthy. But think about this. Every 20 minutes, some of your cells divide and become a new cell. So think back a few years, a few decades. We used to have VHS tapes. Who remembers those? Yeah, that's what I thought. You put a VHS tape player in, or I put it in your tape in your player, and you can actually record one tape to another. Now, how many of you ever recorded something for a family member, and then they recorded it, and then they recorded it, and they recorded it, and 5 or 6 duplications later, it sounded like fuzz and static, and the picture jumped, and it got less correct every time? That's because something got in the way and interfered with the perfect duplication. In your body, when your cells duplicate themselves, if free radicals are available and not neutralized, they can interfere with your DNA and make your cells not divide appropriately. So you can have that same kind of a problem when your cells are duplicating. Not that you'll get static out of them, but they don't duplicate perfectly in the presence of free radicals. So, free radicals damage cells. That's one point we want to make very clear. And they interfere with cell division, thus making the cells that are dividing not exactly normal. Oftentimes the immune system recognizes this and starts swelling around those tissues or those cells, and that's why some people have chronic inflammation or chronic arthritis or allergies or asthma. Antioxidants give every cell in your body a second chance because it neutralizes the free radical that caused that damage to begin with and can revive and restore that cell to where it's duplicating normally again. That's what I mean by a second chance. Anti-aging effects occur when the amount of antioxidant that you take in exceeds the amount of free radicals that are in your body. So pollution, sun, water that we drink that has all kinds of chemicals in it, or soda pops, or alcohol, those are all free radicals. They can damage individual cells. But if we're taking in more antioxidants than our body's accumulating free radicals, you're going to be healthy and well because those free radicals want to bind up with an antioxidant and become neutral. They want to pair up. With that in mind, think about this for a second. To be healthy, to be young, to be anti-aging, or to reverse the time clock, all you have to do on a regular basis is take in more antioxidants than free radicals. Yeah, and what's the best antioxidant that the United States Department of Agriculture reported? That wasn't good enough, say it again.
Chocolate.
Yeah, that was, and any chocolate?
Dark.
No, just the kind of chocolate that doesn't have the extra butter fats and palm oils and sugars in it, and it comes cold processed. And that's why you're here with Shovita, because that's exactly what we're dealing with. Now, it's possible to reverse and prevent the effects of aging. Who in here wants me to prove it to them? With the latest and greatest, hands up still, the latest and greatest. See, people say they don't want science. Oh no, don't bore me with science. But more than half of the room just raised their hand and says, yeah, I want some proof. So if I make it short but to the point, I hope you'll appreciate from the New England Journal of Medicine. Is that credible?
Yes.
It's about the most credible journal that we have in medicine. Quote, "The overall deterioration of the body that comes with growing old is not inevitable. Stanford Medical School says we now realize that some aspects of aging can be prevented or reversed." Those are two really credible sources. I'm going to give you about 50 more by the time we're done here, but can we really turn back the hands of time? Have you ever seen anybody turn back the hands of time? Have you ever seen anybody whose skin seems to get younger? Have you seen anybody's wrinkles start to diminish? Have more energy? Have less achy muscles? I see it all the time. It does happen. Now, there's a medical specialty called anti-aging medicine. The American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine gives degrees as specialists in that particular form of medicine. Thousands of studies documenting anti-aging and antioxidants in the same study. There's a journal on anti-aging therapeutics, and the law has gotten involved. Okay, who trusts the law? Okay, then this is a joke. But at the end of the joke, realize that the NIH and the FDA and a lot of doctors were involved to come up with a law. And this is a law. It is passed. According to United States Law 103417, quote, "The use of nutritional supplements prevents disease, promotes wellness, and reduces long-term health care costs, are safe, and increase the longevity and quality of life. Wow. Was that used to bring a board of anti-aging medical experts together and form a foundation? Yeah. In addition, anti-aging ingredients like, and by the way, are these in the product we're talking about in capsule form? Yes. Arginine, coenzyme Q10, resveratrol, NAC stands for N-acetylcysteine, milk thistle, and many, many more rebuild aging tissues, while the most powerful antioxidants in the form of cocoa or dark chocolate neutralize the free radicals. Here's how simply this works. You've got the finest antioxidant there is. It neutralizes more free radicals than anything else. By neutralizing the free radicals, it's like taking the rust off of an old truck. But doesn't it leave some of that truck to have to be rebuilt? That's what these capsules are for. They're the ingredients proven to rebuild the tissues. So, we're delivering the finest antioxidant, taking the rust off. We're delivering the tools to rebuild it. That's why these are so powerful in combination with each other. And besides that, I know you're here to eat chocolate. It tastes great. We want to have that dark chocolate. How come we've got capsules? Well, because some of the ingredients that are required to rebuild your kidneys, your arteries, your brain, your heart, taste pretty darn bad. And we can put so much more of them into a capsule in a concentrated form than by eating them in a chocolate that you probably would say that will ruin the taste of that chocolate. So let's get back to science. Science reports the aging process can be prevented or reversed. Quickly, the Journal of Clinical Investigation reports that you can regenerate damaged tissues. The New England Journal of Medicine reports you can prevent symptoms of aging and rejuvenate deteriorated organs. National Academy of Sciences says you can reverse symptoms of aging. Anti-Aging Therapeutic Journal says amino acids, like arginine, and antioxidants, like cocoa, improve the quality and longevity of life. I think we've already gotten to the point where you're starting to recognize science has documented well enough that this stuff works. But to help improve on that, what it means to you, UCLA Medical School reports, yeah, right here, UCLA, quote, the daily use of antioxidants can add 10 healthful years to your life. Who wants to live an extra 10 years? And now, yeah, hands go up. Yeah, but do you really want to be that guy that lives in the trailer down by the river and has all these sore muscles and just accepts he's going to die? You know what? We want to be healthy. We want to be well. We want to be doing what we need to be doing. And hope is an amazing thing, isn't it? Especially when it's supported by facts. So this is the main reason we age prematurely. Damage from free radicals at the cellular level. It deteriorates our health by causing too much stress, one cell at a time. And you think, oh, one cell at a time isn't that big a deal. Think about this. When a person gets drunk, how many brain cells do they kill? You've all heard this, haven't you? Oh, about 1 million cells. Yeah, and the next day, there's no damage left. It's all gone, right? Yeah, and then comes the hair of the dog, and there's another 1 million cells, and there's another 1 million. How many people that continually flood their body with free radicals over time have a really good outcome? Not very many. On the other hand, how many people that flood their body with antioxidants neutralize that kind of damage? All of them, one cell at a time. So when you start taking these capsules and you expect to have all of your arthritis, all of your allergies, all of your asthma, all of your heart disease, and your stroke go away in one dose, that's a little quick for one cell at a time. But how long should we take them before we really start to feel a difference? About 1 week for eyesight to start to improve. Wow, that's a good one. How about 1 week for skin to start to be softer and smoother? How about 2 months for wrinkles to be 50% of what they used to be? How about, we'll go on and on and on, but these are the kind of things that we're having reported regularly. Now, let's take a look at the cells that I'm talking about that are being damaged so you can have a visual image of it. The average cell is attacked 10,000 times an hour by free radicals. This is a healthy red blood cell. This is that same healthy red blood cell while it's being attacked by free radicals. A free radical is something that attaches inside or outside of a cell and steals one electron from it, thus rupturing the membrane, and the contents pour out and it dies. That is a free radical. That is a free radical. That's a free radical. That's a free radical. As you can see, there's a good 100 free radicals that are consuming that cell. That's what it looks like. And they do attack. And it's like a bunch of little needles poking holes and rupturing that cellular membrane. So did you know that during your lifetime, you will spend 3.5 years of it eating, 12 years watching TV, 2.5 years talking on the telephone, unless you're in network marketing, 2 weeks kissing. I've always heard that was debatable, and if you wait and listen long enough, you'll know who doesn't fall into that rule. 12 years non-stop talking. You'll produce 200 billion new red blood cells every day. That's a lot. You'll have sex an average of 2,581.3 times. I know, the 0.3 has got you worried, right? You'll blink 415 million times. You'll get new skin every month. You'll get a new skeleton every 4 years. You'll produce enough hair that in a day you can grow 1 meter of new hair. If all of your hair follicles were added up, all the hair that's growing right now, and one day if you listen, you can hear it growing, right? Okay, not you men, never mind. The Rogaine men don't do that, but the point is you're regenerating your cells all the time. In general, everything that you are, every cell that makes up your body is less than 10 years old. Most of them are less than 2 years old. So, why the sagging? Why the wrinkling? Why the blurriness? The problem is that free radicals gum up the duplication process, like we talked about that VHS cassette. The duplication, in the presence of all these damaging free radicals, makes our skin sag, makes our skin not be so flexible, our arteries not be flexible. Aging process begins 1 cell at a time. Did you know that in the year 1900, the average person lived to be 48 years old? And today the average lifespan is 76 years old. Are we getting better or just older? Ask yourself that question. Medical science says if you minimize stress, that's reducing free radicals, and supplement appropriately, you can expect to live to be a healthy 100 years old. That's the group we're talking to today, isn't it? Yeah. Scientific review of healthy chocolate as an anti-aging supplement goes like this. We have a lot of research, and then we have a lot of really credible research. For instance, Harvard has published numerous studies. The Journal of the American Medical Association called JAMA. In addition, New England Journal of Medicine, the American College of Cardiology, the Archives of Internal Medicine, American College of Nutrition, Critical Care Nursing, the United States Department of Agriculture. Now, instead of going through each one of those, know this. They're all listed in detail in the back of your book. The book is called, who knows the name of this book? Live Young with Chocolate. That name alone is worth something, isn't it? In the back of this book, you've got about 10 pages of all these medical references, so you don't have to write all of them down. Those of you who want a good quote or two from what I'm saying, know this. I already went to the studio and I already made 18 5 to 10 minute film clips of these exact slides, and I put them for free on a website, and it's called MyDrChocolate.com. MyDrChocolate.com. So if you want these slides, they're already on the website for you. If you want me presenting in much more detail than I have time today, you can go to the website. In fact, you can cut, paste, and send on Mother's Day something to do with hearts and wellness. I know that was lame, but you know what? You've got 18 film clips right now that are available to you in this entire presentation in detail that you can use, plus the book. If you want written facts with reference materials, with all the tests that we're going to do here today, all in the book, so it's all duplicatable, then pick one sentence that summarizes all of this, the one sentence that works best for you. Science Daily reports that raw cocoa has health benefits that are so striking it may rival penicillin and anesthesia in terms of importance to public health. Oh, that can't be from any important place. That's just an advertisement. No, that's from the Harvard Medical School. Important as penicillin? Well, now think about this for a minute. You realize that we're discovering that no longer do we say vitamins are what are all you need to get well. I mean, 30 years ago they used to say, take your vitamins, you'll be well. Then they went, we need minerals too. Oh, and what about those essential fatty acids? And we got to have some proteins. And you know what we're finding out? That plants have healing benefits. We're rediscovering that, right? Is it the vitamins? No, what we're finding out is it's the antioxidants that are actually the true healer. And if you have more antioxidants coming into your body than you do free radicals, on a long-term basis, you're going to be healthy, well, and younger because your cells will duplicate themselves without free radical damage. Harvard Medicine. Dark chocolate can help reduce inflammation. And you realize inflammation is the cause of about 80% of all of our diseases. Inflamed arteries cause heart disease. Inflamed arteries in the brain cause stroke. Inflamed intestines cause a myriad of different things. Inflamed skin, we can go on and on and on. Inflammation can be neutralized by dark chocolate. If I were to give you all the studies, we'd be here for hours. Instead, from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, Journal of American Medical Association, Experimental Biological Medicine, and American Journal of Clinical Nutrition all have published this. So what you're seeing is enough science to recognize that we now can deal with the causes of aging, which are stress, which are inflammation, overexertion and injury, toxins that build up in your body, pesticides, pollutants. What do we drink? What's in our water? Oh, let's see, fluoride, bromine, chlorine. We put all these different things in and we drink them. Hormone imbalances, inactivity also cause premature aging. Cellular damage is probably the #1 thing. So let's take a look at this a little bit. Did you know that our brains shrink 25% in size by the time we're 70 years old? Now, think about alcohol for a minute. Think about those million brain cells you killed. Do they really show up as being missing? Does your brain actually become hollow like styrofoam? At age 70, it has. This is a scan of a brain, and this dark space in the middle is where free radicals have taken one brain cell at a time and eroded it away, and right where your cognition, memory, all this outer cortex of the brain has been eroded away. 75% of your brain is left, and we wonder why we have so much Parkinson's, so much Alzheimer's, so much memory loss. This is real. Doesn't have to be, because we can neutralize the cause of that brain damage, that organic brain disease they call it, by taking antioxidants and giving the free radicals something to bind to so it doesn't steal brain cells. To prove this, these are what we call MRI scans of the brain. In the brain, we have colors that indicate activity. The brighter reds, the brighter yellows indicate the parts of the brain that are active. In the top two sections, you've got normal brain scans. So the top two are normal. This section right here is what a brain scan of somebody with Parkinson's looks like. The same person, actually. And they have less activity and it's less colorful, which means their brain just isn't functioning nearly as actively as it could. But when we give them one dose of an antioxidant and wait an hour, did we revive? Did we regenerate? Did we restore brain function? Yeah. Did we turn it totally around and make it permanent? Not quite, but you can see one cell at a time, one section, one organ at a time, anti-aging is taking place. Again, we've got a picture of a red blood cell. And the reason I put this up here is because premature aging originates in a single cell. Maybe a red blood cell, maybe a brain cell, maybe a heart cell, and the damage is caused almost every time by a free radical that just wants to steal a single electron so it can feel like it's complete. Again, you've seen this before. Free radicals attacking a red blood cell. It's possible that a single cell could be attacked by free radicals 10,000 times an hour. Or, this is a picture of your skin, taken in a microscope and in a cross-section, where the top up here is the part of your skin that you wash off and it flakes off and you get new cells every day and they grow down here. But this is a picture of free radicals that are damaging one cell at a time and then spreading all the way through the skin. These are cancer cells. And like an apple that's rotten that you put in a barrel and it spreads to all the other cells, that's how free radicals cause a cascade of cellular damage to occur. All of it could have been stopped with one antioxidant on the originating cell, and not any of the rest would have happened. Or bones. Imagine a free radical stealing just one electron from your bone. You'll never miss it until you're 60. And what happens is, this bone is normal. And it's got this strong structure built in. Look how hollow the bone is after one electron at a time is stolen by free radicals. It's called osteoporosis, and your bones become very weak and very hollow. Now, I've got a picture up here of a marshmallow. And the reason why is because I wanted to give somebody a visual experience of a free radical and an antioxidant. If you take a marshmallow, you put it on a stick and you hold it over the fire, it gets all warm and mushy and sticky, doesn't it? You made s'mores before, haven't you? You can smell it just thinking about it, can't you? I know. And you go, where am I going to crunch up that graham cracker, right? Okay, wait a minute. Now, let's suggest for a moment that a warm, sticky marshmallow is a free radical. Okay? Now, wherever that warm, sticky marshmallow goes, doesn't it damage tissue? If it falls on your pants, doesn't it stick? It becomes a part of it. What about your hands? Anywhere it goes, it wants to bind with something and damage it. That's a free radical. Now, if I was to take that warm, sticky marshmallow and I was to put it and let it react to something like chocolate, chocolate coats it. And maybe crush up some of that graham cracker. And now the graham cracker coats the warm, sticky, free radical. I can handle it. I can hold it. I can move it. I can store it. And it's not going to get sticky and react or bond with or damage anything. Antioxidants are kind of like the crushed up graham cracker here. They bind to this warm, sticky marshmallow, so now it can't damage anything else. Antioxidants then need to be given all the time. We need to take them all the time. In fact, I've already talked to 4 people out of about 9 of you who came up to me with questions about prostate cancer. So think about this for a moment. If in fact prostate Cancer starts out not as cancer, but as free radical damage, which it does. One cell at a time, the cells start to get damaged. How could I prevent prostate problems? Well, by dumping a lot of graham crackers in so the free radicals will stick to it, right? That's what the chocolate, in combination with the capsule ingredients, are for. They're going to be given every 3 or 4 hours in the form of chocolate or capsules, and they're going to be circulating through the bloodstream, so any damaging, warm, sticky free radical in your bladder or in your prostate will have something else to stick to instead of your bladder or your prostate. That's how grand an antioxidant can actually work. It prevents all these other diseases. So let's look in a microscope at what a cancer cell looks like. That's it right there. Single cancer cell. Look at all these little fibers sticking out. Those are free radicals. Those are actually out there trying to pierce other cells and steal their electrons. And notice the coating on this is sugar. In fact, when you go to the doctor's office and you get a cancer scan and they scan your entire body and they're looking for some kind of abnormal cell growth, do you know that they give you a drink of something that you have to drink about a whole pint of before you go into the scan, so it will activate all of your cancer cells so they'll show up on the scan? Guess what that is?
Sugar.
Sugar. Simple sugars, dextrose, sucrose. Now wait a minute. If they're giving me pure sugar and it's activating all my cancer cells and that sugar is feeding the very free radicals that are attacking my body, should I stop taking in sugar in its refined form?
Yeah.
Louder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the steps here that we want to do. Now, why is our chocolate so great? Because while we have some sweetener in there, we don't have the gallons of sugar and the gallons of fats that other chocolates have. As you can see, candies feed the free radicals. We don't have candy. We have dark chocolate. It's almost medicinal, isn't it? The body uses 2 systems to neutralize free radicals. One is the antioxidant nutrients. That means the foods you eat directly neutralize the free radicals, like our cocoa. Another one is the antioxidant enzyme system that has to be manufactured by our own body. We secrete a substance called glutathione. It's the most powerful antioxidant our body makes. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, in the capsules stimulate the body's production of glutathione. The chocolate directly neutralizes the free radicals. We're using both forms of activity to neutralize free radicals. That's why they even work in some of the most dangerous situations or diseases. Arginine, by the way, also causes the body to stimulate not only these glutathione, but other immune cells like natural killer cells, whose job it is to identify anything foreign in your body and eliminate it. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition publishes this. After they reviewed 93 studies, they concluded that the regular consumption of dark chocolate improves bioavailability and bioefficacy. What that means is bioavailability means a biological thing like food is now more available because it's delivered into the bloodstream better. See, you can eat a mineral like calcium, but calcium's just a rock. We crush it into a powder and we eat it. How is that going to dissolve into our bloodstream? It doesn't. It has to be attached to a coenzyme or it has to be actively transported. Guess what does it best?
Chocolate.
Antioxidants and chocolate. Why? Because the cells want the antioxidants so much because all free radical damage takes place in the cell or on the cell wall. Now, when I give you antioxidants in the form of chocolate and I attach arginine, NAC, coenzyme Q10, hawthorn berries, they have an active transport into your cells. That's why they work so well together. That's why we've given them to you in capsule form. Okay, this is a guy who got a little bit too much sun. What do you think? This began in one cell and was caused by free radicals that were unopposed. Are you telling me if he would have just taken his antioxidants, he wouldn't have had any of that? It's possible. I don't know if we can reverse it at this point in time. But look at this. It spreads. It's a cascade. Now, I'm going to suggest to you that the prostate cancer people that take our chocolate at the Huntsman Cancer Institute in Utah actually take it every 3 hours. And the ones that take it every 3 hours, 1 square, every 3 hours, in 2 weeks have PSA numbers. That's the antigen that we measure that documents prostate cancer. Their PSA numbers go down in as little as 2 weeks. That's 8 squares a day. But here's what we're finding that's interesting. The men who don't get up in the middle of the night and go 8 full hours of sleep without the chocolate don't drive it down. Wow. Does that mean every night I got to get up twice a night and take my chocolate like it was medicine? Yes is one really good answer. And the other one is, we put a concentrated form in a capsule so you can swallow it just before you go to bed, and it'll take you through the night. Starting to like the combination of chocolate and capsules, aren't you? It's kind of neat. Did you get one of those moments, the hair on the back of your neck standing up going, wow, that's kind of cool. So with that in mind, people who have really dramatic issues can actually take these every 3 hours. And by the way, the people who took them every 6 hours didn't have the same results. People who skipped night didn't have the same results, but that's why the capsules can fill in that time period. Now, what is a free radical and why does it cause disease? Is there any question with that visual image what the issue is? They're puncturing holes in the sides of healthy cells so that they can be complete, meaning free radicals want one more electron to be complete. And they're everywhere. In our air, in our water, in our foods we eat, they're everywhere. In fact, most of the free radicals we bring into our body, we bring in through our mouth by what we eat. What's on our food? I could scare you, but I'm afraid to. Okay, I will a little. What comes from China? Everything good or everything bad? You're right. Okay, what comes from Mexico on our strawberries? E. coli? Yeah, many things. So the point I'm making is, if you're going to eat something you know is bad, just take a square of chocolate with it, right? Gosh, that's a great answer, isn't it? And as long as I eat more healthy chocolate than I do free radicals, I'm still going to get younger, right? Kinda. I'm standing here with 4 doctor's degrees going, yeah, in general, that's what I'm talking about. I really do believe, and it's written in my book, and it is philosophically unique to the medical world, but supported by all the medical studies. If your antioxidants increase to a higher level than your free radical intake, you're going to be reversing disease and aging both. And if you want to look at what the anti-aging doctors prescribe on a regular basis, it's as many antioxidants as they can get in your body. Now, let's take a look at why we have a problem. Are you ready to go through this with me? This is from the United States Grocery Association. It's the most commonly consumed items. Number 1, most common purchases from the grocery store in America. Number 1, Marlboro cigarettes. No free radicals there. Number 2, Coke Classic. Number 3, Pepsi Cola. Number 4, Kraft processed cheese. Number 5, Diet Coke. Number 6, Campbell's soups. All of them in general. Number 7, Budweiser beer. Number 8, Tide detergent. That's what came up on the list. Number 9, Folgers coffee. Number 10, Winston cigarettes. And the most shoplifted item in all the grocery stores is Preparation H, documenting that, yes, indeed, we are full of it. Take a look at this guy. How old do you think he is?
40.
Who says 60?
45.
Who says 70? Who says 43? He's 43. That's what radiation will do. The man lived as a farmer in the sun his whole life. That's a 43-year-old man and his free radical damaged skin. Can we reverse that? Somewhat, but totally, sometimes it goes a little too far. Now, this is what it looks like immediately after somebody pours gasoline on the back of their hand. You see all those little bumps? See how the immune system surrounds every little free radical and causes swelling? Well, that inflammation, if it were in your arteries, could cause a clogged artery. If that were in your brain, could that be a stroke? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Now, with that in mind, here's what a liver looks like. And these are photographs of a healthy liver, because free radicals damage organs and make them thick, non-functional, and die early because of chronic inflammation. By the way, antioxidants reduce this inflammation. So here's a healthy liver. This is what a liver that has been exposed to the free radicals of alcohol look like. See all those little buds? See all those little swollen spots? See all that inflammation? Shuts down the arteries and the liver finally dies. Prolonged exposure to free radical causes cross-linking. Simply put, that's when the DNA gets all strung out in this big long chain and it has an exact copy. But a free radical comes along and steals one of them and another one from the other end, and they don't know what to do, so they bind with each other and you get this nice accordion-shaped DNA, or accordion-shaped wrinkles in your face, or accordion wrinkles and stiff tissue in your arteries. So at the DNA level, free radicals can cause this. What that means is you've got high blood pressure from stiffer, more clogged arteries. What this means is in the brain it impedes the transmission of signals between the nerves, producing poor memory, poor concentration, focus, and recall problems. If it happens in the DNA, you can have abnormal cell growth called cancer. I can't say the word because I'll be in trouble, so I won't. But it's all of us are looking at the C word there. Immune cells. What if your immune cells get exposed to this? Happens all the time. And then you get autoimmunity, where your own immune cells can't recognize what is yourself anymore, and they attack their own healthy cells, like in fibromyalgia, like in MS, like in lupus. And it looks kind of like this cactus. Now, think about what a cactus is exposed to. The sun, the heat, all day long, and it just defends itself with swelling, with antioxidants as much as it can produce, and you get this accordion shape of protection. Well, that might be good for the cactus, but do you really want the inside of your arteries to look like that? Because that's what happens in response to free radicals. Now, the locations where free radicals damage start in the lungs and cause allergies. They can be in your brain, causing Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, memory loss. Eyes, we can have cataracts, we can have macular degeneration. Hardening of the arteries can occur. Red blood cells can be damaged, and we get chronic fatigue. We get anemia. Anywhere in the body that the circulatory system can take it, there can become this kind of damage. So, again I ask, can we really turn back the hands of time with all of this cross-linking, all this free radical damage? Well, absolutely yes, and we're going to look at some of those studies now. Anti-aging is synonymous with antioxidants. Even the medical doctors are on board with this one. And you've seen, according to U.S. Public Law 103417, where I already mentioned to you, but those of you who have free radical brain damage, I put it up there again, that it will increase longevity and quality of life. Now, Stanford medical research says it's possible to reverse and prevent the effects of aging. Here's all these journals that prove that. Here's according to UCLA at Medical Sciences again and again. Now it's time, once I've given you some of those important things twice, that only happened because I hid them from the screen so that they wouldn't show up, but when I transferred it on my flash drive, it didn't hide those slides. So I'll have to take the blame for that showing up again. But right now it's time to test your true biological age. Can you be older than your age?
Sure.
Can you be younger than your age?
Sure.
Who wants to participate with me on this one? It's called the static balance test. Can I have two people come up and join me on the stand here? We're going to test your age based on your balance. Now, by the way, all of these tests are published in medical journals. These are all diagnostic tests that doctors can use to tell how old you are. Come right on up here. I want you to stand right there, and I'm going to stand in front of you, and you get to copy what I do. Would you like to join us, or do you want to see them be foolish first? I mean, experimental first. We'll let them go first. Okay, here's how it works. I'm not going to introduce you because you'll be much younger when this is done. Then we'll have you introduce yourselves. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. And you can do this anytime, any place, and it's actually diagnostic. What happens is, as you get older, your nerves don't work nearly as well because of free radical damage. And you can't keep your balance very well. So, the doctors have documented how old you are based on how long you can keep your balance. If you'll follow me, spread out just a little bit, you're going to do exactly what I do. So I'm turning my back to you so you can copy me, right? You're going to stand on one foot. Everybody with me? You can use your arms however you want. Everybody stand on one foot, and on the count of 3, you're going to shut your eyes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She's doing great, isn't she? 13. That means the other guys have dropped out. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. She's getting younger and younger. If we turn back the hands of time anymore, she'll start wetting the bed. Here we go. You're at about 30. She did great. Give her a hand. Okay, now, everybody on your feet. While you're standing, take a look at this screen.